One of the restrictions with adaptive grazing is always a good water system. That seems to be the challenge, no matter if you're an established grazer or somebody just getting started, is a good, reliable water system. So there's three main ones that we can talk about here that we see across a lot of farms through the state that we visit. One is a pond. Two would be some type of a heated or thermal heated automatic water. And the other would be a water tank. So out of those three, each one of them has their pros and cons. Depending on the context of your farm, maybe you have established water already in a pond system, maybe you have buried water line, and they even have options of above ground water line as well that you can move across your farm with quick couple of devices for a portable tank. A pond as this one is a main source of water across many farms. And a lot of times what we want to see is the ponds at minimum fenced off so where the cows cannot get into the pond and dirty the water with the mud on their feet, their manure or urine. It really decreases the water quality and can affect daily gains and overall animal health. So at minimum we have a pond fenced. It saves our ditches from getting eroded through the traffic going in and out of the pond, and again keeps our water quality clean. In this situation here, we went a step further and added a water ramp. So what this has done is we've dug down and added some geotextile fabric and some big large rock for traction, and it goes down into the water, and we have a fence just to where they can get so deep for about 3 to 5 head can drink at a time, and then they'll retreat and let the next cattle come back in. So there's really no room for cattle and hot temperatures to be coming and camping out here in the water and hanging out. It keeps the water quality clean and your conservation of your pond banks up to date. A water ramp as this one can be a huge benefit to the longevity of your pond. And if you want to put in a system like this, contact your local NRCS agent, and it is an accepted practice through the EQIP program. Another option for an adaptable water system is a tank system. So in here we have a tire tank, or you could use just your basic water tank that you see at a farm store. But the positive on a tank is you have a lot more water capacity or holding capacity. So if for some reason in this situation it's gravity fed out of a pond, you have a low flow or low pressure, but you have a lot of volume for the water. So if a handful of cows come up here to drink, they're not going to suck it all the way dry, and it'll have time to be completely refilled. That way the cattle always have water access and never runs out. On a tank or ball water system, it's very important to have good footing around the tank, because when cattle come up and drink, there's a lot of pressure and traction coming up around here. So having a really good gravel or concrete base to where the cattle can get all 4 feet on the pad or the gravel base is very important for longevity of your watering area. And putting any water system in, it's important to know your resources that you have available. U of I Extension has a lot of data on water flow and capacity and pressures, along with your EQIP program that you can apply for to put in your water infrastructure. Another option for an adaptable water source is this style of a ball water. So this uses ground heat and an insulated tube that comes up to the float system here that uses that ground heat to keep the water thawed in cold temperatures. And this is one of the major pros or positives on this style of water, is its ability to self-heat and self-refill. Another pro about this is you can a lot of times put these in fence lines to where you're watering on both sides of a cross fence or even a corral fence in a dry lot situation. A negative of this is the low capacity of it. So it doesn't have a whole lot of volume of water in it. They do make different sizes. This is a 2, they make a 1, they make up to a 6 ball, but this is pretty average size here. So like I say, you have the good refill, you have the insulation, but just not a lot of volume that you can have in the storage of this. But so one thing to keep in mind when you are putting a system like this in, that you need a lot of water pressure for a quick refill on the tank, so the tank never goes empty. One thing on the ball waters is you have to have concrete as the foundation. The other sources of waters that we've talked about today don't necessarily need concrete, but need a rock foundation, whereas a ball water you have to have a concrete foundation.